Hi, I'm Anthony. I'm a full-stack JavaScript developer, and I can build applications for you all the way from the back end, including databases, to the application logic, to the front end. And that includes technologies such as MongoDB, Firebase, Meteor in the back end and application level, and in the front end I specialize with React.js. I'm going to walk you through a few projects of mine so you can see what I can do. Alright, so the first one I'm going to go to, it's called Beats. It's a small demo game I made in React, and basically plays a music video and you hit the arrow keys to the beat. So here it is. This is in a mobile view. You can play it on the desktop too. But you tap the arrows as the beat comes up and it hits up here. There's a few things that are interesting about this. There is a level editor included. I built a bunch of levels so you can actually build your own level. It included custom algorithm, to figure that out, because when you build a level, you just tap your arrow keys as you play it. And I'm going to edit. Alright, so if I hit the arrow keys, you can see it's calculating the beats per minute up here. I'm using the arrow keys on my keyboard because I'm on a computer. There's some fancy things that went into figuring that out and whatnot, but I thought it was kind of neat, and I used it to create a Facebook group with a whole bunch of levels for people. And that's Beats, basically. Alright, the next project I'm going to take you to is Track My Foods. This is a Meteor application, and it allows you to enter in the foods that you eat, and it will keep track of them, basically, as the title says. So let's say I ate some chicken, and that will bring up data that I imported from the USDA database. You input it, and you have calories, protein, whatever you want to track, log the consumption, and then it's entered here in your logs. And let's say I ate some bread, you type it in, alright, let's say I ate 3 ounces of bread, and you can see everything is automatically calculated. If I put 2 ounces, it calculates the calories and protein, so you can quickly use it to figure out what you want to eat at that time. I used it for myself for a couple years. Very useful for losing weight, gaining weight, whatever you want to do. And it's meant to be very flexible. So you see over here we have the recent totals, calories, protein. You can choose to track a number of things. So say you want to track fat, and now it automatically says I have a goal of 59 to 72 grams of fat per day. Or say I don't want to track calories anymore. I get rid of it. It doesn't track it. It doesn't show it up here, but it's still all tracked in the back end because it's just tracking your food. There are some other neat things in here. So if I go to settings, it gets a little technical with food, but like if you're a vegetarian, you can go in here and select protein quality. It looks at the amino acids and says, like, is this a balanced protein, if you're familiar with that, among a whole bunch of other things that it can calculate. So if you go in here and play around, you'll see it's a pretty robust application. It has recipes you can add. Say I want to use that chicken that I used, 100 grams, and bread, 3 grams, and then let's say the recipe is a sandwich or something. Probably can't spell that right, but instructions, save it, you get your recipe, and yeah, there's some other things you could explore here. The foods are like shared between users. If you notice right now, I'm not logged in, but all of this will be saved if I register and just create it. And there are some other widgets here, so you can target your meal, like your current meal. It takes into account like how much you ate and whatnot throughout the day, and if you want to eat the right amount, it will tell you, or you can click about and read about it. So yeah, again, this is a Meteor project built with Bootstrap on the top, and of course Meteor has MongoDB in the back end. Alright, and I'm going to move on to a smaller but more technical project as the third example, and this I call Inline Dwarfs. There is a concept of when you first load a web page, the first 14 kilobytes loads really, really fast. It's that first packet you want to get right away. And if you want it to load really fast but also look custom, what you can do, this little hack, is you can put a font file, a WAF is a font file, embedded in the header of your HTML. And then you'll get a site that looks custom with a custom font, and it will load right away. But the trick is that fonts are large. So what I did was, again on the About page, I went and I found a repository of hundreds of fonts from Google Fonts. I downloaded them all and I put them in here, and I analyzed them. And the analysis is how big each of the fonts are. And you can go through the pages and you'll see that when you get a full set of the fonts, full-ish set, this is the number of kilobytes. And remember, you only have 14 kilobytes in that first window. So you pick how much you want it to be the font, how much you want it to be your HTML or CSS or whatever you're throwing in there in that initial payload, and you pick one that looks decent to you with the preview here. You can hone it in further too by doing a custom subset of the font. What I'll do is I'll click full subset and you'll see what it looks like. So this is going to run for a minute. It's generating what the font embeds. This is the stuff I was talking about that goes into the HTML. So here you have the style tag, and there's the font right there. This data, it's base 64 encoded. It goes really long. You don't have to worry about what it is, but that's what it's doing. It's putting the font in line with the HTML, which is useful if you want a custom font and want it to load right away without having to wait at all for your website. What you can also do is make a custom subset of a font. So say you wanted it even smaller. Let's see, this font is 6.5. We'll see if this gets smaller. And right now I have 27 glyph. A glyph is a character, like ABC, selected. You could select, these, and then it's 53, right? But let's just have it the 27 here. Generate it, and this is down to 3.8 kilobytes. So with this font, I only have the uppercase letters, which is kind of weird, but like if you wanted to write titles in only uppercase, you could conceivably in that 3.8K plus the 6.5, you're just over 10, then you'll have 2 fonts even within the first 14K, and you can put titles in one font, as I think I did here, and then the rest of the text in another font. And yeah, this is a little bit more of a technical project than the others, and that's it. Hope you like my demos. Thanks.